Hi everyone, in today's video we'll be going over the 9-5 notes part 2. So these are a slightly different type of equation to solve, as you can see. So this is an exponential type of equation. Notice there's no log on it, and it should look slightly familiar to a previous type we've done before, but the big difference here is if we look at the bases, the 4 and the 10, we clearly see that they don't match. And in order to solve exponentials, we like to have the same base so we can just set the exponents equal to each other. Well, these problems are a bit different. So normally, we would go in and we would break down the 4 and the 10. 4 breaks down into 2 and 2. So you can rewrite 4 as 2 squared. When you break down the 10, you get 2 and 5. Now that's not going to work because we can't make a pair out of this. They're different numbers. So 10 can't break down. It is just 10. So we can't end up with the same base. Can't get the same base. So when we have that situation, what we do instead is switch the form. Switch to log form. That is how we solve these problems. And by the way, with the problems where you have the same, you can get the same base, you could also solve it with this method as well. But typically we like to get the same base instead. So you remember how it goes. Base stays base, the other two switcheroo. Our base here is the 4. So it's log base 4. And then the other two switcheroo. So the x is going to go over here, and the 10 is going to go here. So log base 4 of 10 equals x. That's how that's going to look. And notice our x is already solved for us. All we have to do is figure out what this number is. And we can easily do that. We can plug it into the calculator. Change a base formula. This is log of 10 divided by log of 4. So grab out your calculator. Don't forget to close off those parentheses. And as you can see, it is not going to be a pretty decimal. So if we round, and if we were to round, the better thing to do is to round to 4 decimal places. The further you go out, the more accurate, and 4 is a really good standard. So if we round to 4, we count up 4 numbers, we're at the 9. This 6 is going to bump this 9 up to a 10. So this 0, 9 becomes 10, 1, 0. So let me round that. X is approximately 1.66, and then this becomes 10. So you can write the extra 0 or you can leave it off. That part's up to you. And that is our answer. Now because these start off as exponential, you don't have to check them. I will check this first problem just to show you, for those of you who like to plug your answer back in to make sure it's right. It's not going to be perfect because it is around a decimal, but you're going to get very close to your answer. So let me show you one check. You will not get no solution on problems like these, though. 4 to the x value was 1.6610 equals 10. And then we're trying to get a number out of this that is 10. So let's type that in. 4 to the 1, that's not the right number, 1.661, goodness, 10. And notice we get pretty much 10. If we were to round this, it would be 10. So let me write out like what that decimal is. We get 10.000. If I take it out 4 decimal places, this 9 bumps the 4 up to a 5. And I'll make the note close enough. So with these problems, these answers, since we're getting the decimal, are not going to be exact, but they're going to be very, very close. So just an FYI on that. Reminder, you don't have to check. This is the only problem I will check, but I did want to show you that. All right, let's practice this a couple more times. So right off the bat, we can't get the same base here. We have 6 to the x minus 2 equals 50. 6 breaks down into 2 and 3, and then 50 breaks down into 2 and 25. Yeah, if you do the whole breakdown thing, it will not work. So let me just cut to the chase there. And let's go ahead and switch the form. Base stays base, the other two switcheroo. So this is going to become a log. Log base is 6, the other two switcheroo. 50 goes there, x minus 2 goes there. So log base 6 of 50 equals x minus 2. Change a base formula to get this number. And again, this is going to be a not very nice decimal. Log of 50 divided by log of 6. Again, let's go for 4 decimals. We have 2.18. And then we go out to our fourth number, that's a 3. The next number 4 will not bump it up, so it's 2.1833. All right, and then to solve for x, because we're not completely done yet, we need to add this 2 over. We'll put it under the 2 because we have to consider the decimal places here. 2's cancel, we're left with x equals, you can definitely do this in the calculator if you want, but don't overcomplicate this. You're just going to add the numbers in front of the decimal. This becomes 4.1833. But always feel free to use your calculator just in case. And that is our answer. Number 3. 7 to the 5x equals 12. We definitely couldn't break these two down. No way. Those would not work if we try to get the same base. So, again, we're going to switch the form. Base stays base, so we have log base 7. The other two switcheroo. 12 goes over here, 5x goes over here. Log base 7 of 12 equals 5x. Calculator to figure out what this is. I'm just going to go up here and edit. Oh, hang on a second. Let me write out what that is. So log of 12 over log of 7, the base goes on the bottom. And it's kind of in this orientation here where 12 is above the 7. It's the same way in change of base formula. So we have log of 12 divided by log of 7. 4 decimal places. We have 1.2769. This 8 will bump the 9 up. So this 69 here becomes a 70 because the 9 basically turns into a 10. So this becomes 70. So we have 1.2770 equals 5x. One more step to get our answer. We have not solved for x yet, so we need to divide that 5 off to get it by itself. 5's are going to cancel. .2770 divided by 5. 0.2554. And there's our answer. All right, we've got one more problem. And I'm going to warn you, this one's not fun. These are not my favorite types by any means. I will say, though, if you can do problems 1 through 3, you're going to be just fine. These are going to be a once-in-a-blue-moon problem. Not my favorite, again, but I got to show you how to do it. So 2 and 5, clearly we can't get the same base, so we are going to do the switching of the form. Now when they both have exponents, this looks a little odd, so you want to make sure you know exactly what is what. So 2 is going to be our base. So we have log base 2. That's our base. The other two switcheroo, so the x and then all of this are going to switch. So x is going to go over here. 5 with all of that is going to go over here. 5 to the x plus 2 equals x over here. Okay, just step by step here. So we have, I'm going to bring this down, log base 2 of 5 to the x plus 2 equals x. Now, in order to put this in our calculator, we need to move this x plus 2 out of the way. So usually, you know that we like to always condense our logs. This is the one time where expanding is actually kind of helpful. So we know that if I put this in front of the log, that's the same thing as the exponent. So I'm going to move that in front of this log. So we now have x plus 2 in front, and then log base 2 of 5 after it equals x. So we know that if this is in front, that's the same as the exponent on this number here, which is our 5. Now that these are separate, I can put this into my calculator, and then I will do the math from there. So let me just take this part and put it into my calculator. So I'll bring down that x plus 2, and then once I get my number, I'll put it in those parentheses. Okay. Log of 5 divided by log of 2. Again, 4 decimals. So we have 2.3219. The 2 will not bump the 9 up, so that is my number. Running out of space here. 2.3219 is my x value. Okay. Now for our next part, because I'm running out of space, I will go ahead and move this up and over. I was going to have to do that anyway. So we have x plus 2 times 2.3219 equals x. That looks better. Okay. From here, this is just algebra. I know we've got this ugly decimal, but kind of put that out of your mind for a moment. Just treat this like any other number. We have to distribute this into here. So I'm going to distribute it into the 2 and into the x. Now I am going to go in this order so the x is in front. So when I multiply a number by x, it's just that number attached to x. 2.3219x plus this times 2. I will definitely need my calculator for that. 2.3219 times 2. And we get that. 4.6438 equals x. All right, from here it's just like your typical algebra problem. Now, since this x is by itself, I will not be moving it to the left side. I'm going to move this over here to the right. Yes, I will get a negative momentarily. So, minus 2.3219x minus 2.3219x. Again, on these problems, you just need to take your time, step by step. 4.6438 equals, now remember, this is a 1x. So it's 1 minus that. Again, use the calculator. 1 minus 2.3219. We get that. Negative 1.3219. Remember, it's still an x. Last step. We need to get the x by itself, so we'll divide the number off the front of it. divided by negative 1.3219. Cancels on the right side to get the x by itself. And then calculator to get our final answer. 4.6438 divided by negative 1.3219. And we get this number 4 decimal places. We have negative 3.5129. We've got a 7, so again we got the scenario where we're turning a 9 into a 10. So this 29 turns into 30, 3-0. So negative 3.5130 is our answer. And that's it. I know that this kind of problem, this is definitely tough. So I'm not going to give that many to you for homework, but I am going to throw a couple at you just so you're able to practice with them. Again, as horrible as these look, once you've done it a couple times and you have the help of your calculator, you'll realize it's not bad. Just please take your time. I did this earlier and actually made a mistake on it, so it's very easy to do. But yeah, these you just got to be patient with yourself. Take your time on these. And if you're panicking, just remember 1 through 3 are really the goal of this lesson. If you can do problems like 1 through 3, you are going to be just fine for any upcoming quizzes or tests. All right, that is all for today's notes. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email or come see me in person. Otherwise, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.